Hey there boys and girls, Lucky here and welcome back to another Overwatch video. So today I want to give you guys a couple of tips on how to play against the new Mrercy, or better said how to deal with her, mainly playing as TRACER or another kind of flanker. So I'd say let's get right into it. Alrighty, so to be completely honest, the new Mrercy changes were also kind of a TRACER/flanker nerf, specifically for the reason that previously as a flanker, especially as TRACER, you were able to go in right before a team fight while they were grouping up or just setting up for the team fight in general and get an early pick, especially with your pulse bomb. Now this would usually force the enemy team to just wait again, waste time and wait for another regroup, especially if you did stick your pulse bomb on a slow moving target, for example like a Zen or an Ana, and of course if you got a multi-kill even better. But usually one target was enough. You just dropped your bomb there and you did recall out of there and you were good to go. Now with the new Mrercy changes, of course, it's a little bit different now, since she can immediately resurrect the target. Now, there are two ways how you can go about this. First of all, try to actually do the same thing as you would always do, however, do not use your pulse bomb immediately. Try to go in, try to only use your pistols, your normal primary guns, your normal primary fire, and try to kill a target like that. Very often, or most of the time, you can still do that while you're setting up a fight or while setting up right before the team fight, because they're not really thinking about you in that way, so they're not really expecting you to kind of pop up behind them. So very often a surprise attack like that works, and then just recall to safety, and this is usually when the Mrercy will rest. In this kind of scenario, then you can go in, drop your pulse bomb and go back out again. Of course, you kind of have either to wait for your recall to be back up, or you have to have really good blink management in order to do this. So as I said before, it's a little harder, but you kind of want to try to bait out the resurrection. That's the kind of the new kind of method that you have to work with most of the time. And even though it's not super awesome, it's still, well, pretty efficient, I'd say. Now, the other thing that you can do, and this is kind of the thing that you should always do anyways, is go straight for the Mrercy. If you go in for the Mrercy, and once again, you're able to pulse bomb her, she's not going to be able to resurrect anyone, because she will be dead. Now, of course, Mrercy is a little bit more of a higher mobility target. If anyone is closer to the spawn, she can just Guardian Angel to him, and of course, this is not giving you as much time as someone who had to get taxied back, for example, like, again, Ana or Zen, for example, which means it's not quite as good, but it's still very good if you get an early pick on Mrercy, because then they definitely have to wait, because they won't have her abilities, they won't have the heals. Again, if you take out the support right before the fight, you usually will have to wait for another regroup, wasting even more time, which is good for you, obviously. Now, if you can get in, and preferably target the Mrercy, this is going to be very good. Other than that, it's going to be very hard to do it in the same way that you usually did it, just because the Resurrect, even though it only is available every 30 seconds, it's kind of taking away a little bit of your kind of potential in a way, since very early picks need to be consistent in a way that you can repeat them twice within 30 seconds. This of course will take a little bit more skill from you, but again, we're all here to learn and to get better. So these were kind of my two little tips and kind of ways of adapting to it. Preferably always you can just kind of also sit behind the enemy team, try to wait for them to go in so they're not paying attention to you, and then again once more focus the Mrercy and really try to get her down first, and this usually will get kind of, well, rid of the resurrection problem. But yeah, I think that's pretty much for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and luckySkillFaker out.